Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Four Dads Podcast with your host, Don Julio, and myself, Tees. Hopefully, you guys have had a good week. Hopefully, you guys have even seen the first round of the FedEx Cup Championship that actually just went down this morning or this afternoon in Atlanta. Always finishing up the PGA Tour at East Lake, so that's always fun. It's always entertaining, and there are actually a decent amount of good players out there besides just Scotty Scheffler, who's supposed to play well based off of how well he's played this year. But before we jump into that, I think it was just the Creator Classic, right? It wasn't the Content Creator; it's just called the Creator Classic.
Creator Classic. Yep, the first of its kind.
I think it happened this. Did it happen this week?
Yeah,
I think it literally happened this week, right?
It was yesterday.
Okay, on the Wednesday before, yeah, because they were talking about how fast the greens were and how great, shape the golf course was in preparation for the FedEx Cup Finals. Yep. But what did you think of that? I know there were a lot of golfers out there.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I gotta say, like, I was kind of disappointed that, like, Wesley Bryant didn't just kill it. I think he was the guy that everyone was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's gonna do amazing and this and that. And Luke Kwan kind of surprised everyone, kind of there on the back nine coming up 18, or his what I think he had 3 birdies in a row to get down to one under, something like that. But he just played solid. Mason Nutt played pretty well. Micah again just blew it, dude. Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I know in his latest video he was stating, yeah, exactly, it's all in the head. But I mean, even in I think in one of his other videos, he was just saying he's been playing like crap, and it's just I don't know. But there was just a lot going on. In my opinion, there was bouncing back from going from every single person. Garrett was pretty stoked about his 9 that he busted in front of millions of people. I thought was hilarious.
Wait, did you see the tweet that he had? He's like, "Hey, PGA Tour, make sure you guys don't have anyone left lined up on the left side of my tee shot."
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was obviously well done. It was ran by the PGA Tour, right? So like it was going to be a solid event. It was well documented. It wasn't like good was good, right? It was well documented, but at the same time, the level of professionalism in the cameras themselves, not just GoPros that are sitting, on each green, capturing whatever it is. It can't really focus and zoom in when they're live and things like that. So, being able to see the different angles. And I was actually kind of bummed that Danny Rappaport didn't play because he's a solid little golfer, especially compared to Riggs and Trent. So
I don't even think Grant Horvath played.
No, he did. I don't think he did either.
Yeah, there was a lot of there was a lot of guys that I was shocked not to see. I mean,
like Danny Rappaport, he was like commentating on it, but he wasn't playing. So it's like, I get that, obviously, and no disrespect to Trent, but Rappaport's a better commentator and golfer than Trent.
Yeah, significantly.
Yeah, but I mean, you're putting lives at risk here when you're putting Trent on the tee box,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: do you think that this is the start of maybe a new kind of tour?
Very possible.
Amateur tour.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they would have to be very specific about the rules of it, because I feel like if it goes the route of a new tour or a new, I guess you can call it a tour, that at the end you get like 2 spots that could potentially play in one of the higher up professional tours, whether it's the, what would you call it, the
just cut that. My fault.
No, you're good. Whether it's like a new tour that like they get exempted into, what's the one below PGA Tour right now? I'm blanking.
Corn Ferry.
the Corn Ferry, because you can't just go straight up to the PGA Tour from there and then get an exempt or some shot into the Q school or something. So
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see some more smaller tours that kind of get people involved. I mean, here's the thing: is like you got to think. I mean, again, we've had several conversations on this, online and offline. Like, Live is doing something different that's bringing in a more youthful kind of audience to their tour. The
mhm,
PGA has been kind of stagnant for a long time, and the reason why I think golf is where it is today is primarily because of one man, Tiger
yeah,
Woods.
mhm,
And
oh
right
yeah,
now there's a lot of good players online. There's a lot of good players that just don't have the time or or the money to really go and do that. So they share their passions for the game and actually are doing really well. Now, do I think Bob does, do I think Bob Manor or yeah, Bob from Bob Does Sports like could compete in something like this? Maybe, but it gives him something to kind of aim for, right? I mean,
mhm,
the whole channel kind of took off a little bit more once they got Fat Perez because they actually had someone who was able to score, who was able to contend with some of their guests,
mhm, mhm,
right?
mhm,
And it
yeah,
made it just brought a lot of attention, and so I think it might be something. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh well, I had to grind the hard way and I had to do this and that to kind of do these things and or to be here. It's like just because you highlight your entire golf game, online, like what gives you the right? And it's kind of like, well, times are changing, man. Like
right. And also, what did you do to bring more people to the game? On top of that, as
nothing.
well as a good player is, when you bring people to the game, that's big. And I feel like if this is a stepping stone for something in the future, they should have more qualifiers. One, what considers you a content creator? X amount of thousand subscribers or followers or whatever on across the board.
Hmm.
Plus, you have to have a certain, or maybe you might not even have to. You might not even have to have a certain handicap. Maybe like under like a 10 handicap. Obviously, that's a huge stretch, but at that point, you're playing in a tournament and like the top 2 or 3 people then move on to potentially play in a spot in this creator classic because then it opens up the floor for other content creators, smaller people that are really good golfers that might not be able to get out there to be seen as well instead of just, oh, well, obviously Fat Prez is a great golfer, but he had struggled in like the good classic and I think even uh the one in Myrtle Beach as well. Um and I don't know if it's just the pressure because obviously when you're doing that compared to just doing a 2-man scramble when you're drinking or just having fun and you don't have to putt out like Danny Rappaport was saying, like a lot of these, YouTube guys, they don't putt out. And that's a big thing because those gimme putts aren't gimme putts anymore. You got to finish the
Yeah.
hole every single time. And as easy as that is, it's gets in your head really
Hmm.
quickly, especially on a very fast green and a very professional like grade course like East Lake, especially in the top tier that it's in. So
Yeah,
I think it'd
exactly.
be cool to have those qualifiers around the country,
Yeah.
just to allow other people in because yeah, I mean, I think then you would have a good mix of the Micahs, the Brian Bros,
Yeah, the Grant
the
Horvacks, the
mhm, mhm,
Rick Shields. Like, I mean, again, you're just giving opportunity to people, to kind of bring up that sport. And again, I think more people pay attention to what's going on YouTube than they do, watching the same guys dominate the tour, which Schauffele and Scheffler and
mhm,
Palma
mhm.
every now and then, right? Hoping
Yeah,
to see Spieth and Justin back up there. It's like,
yeah.
you know, these no one's really leading a huge impact to the game to where it's like, oh my God, I need to go get those. I think the only person that we can say who's maybe gotten close to that, and again, this may be controversial too, but that's what we do it for is Bryson DeChambeau,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
I think Bryson has totally changed the perspective of the way that traditional fittings are, but as well
yeah.
as club manufacturing. I mean, the fact that you're putting a bulb, or is it called a bulb or
Bulge, bulge.
a bulge on an iron to kind
Mm,
of signify a tighter dispersion? That's
mhm.
genius, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that gives like someone like us who grew up playing like a traditional blade iron,
Mhm.
right, the
Yep.
ability to still play it but also just know like my fingers won't hurt if I hit one thin. Like, I'll still be able to get a little bit of oomph out of it if I hit it a bit fat, if I hit it high on the toe, if I hit it off the heel, like my miss is this, right?
Yeah.
Where traditionally when you're playing like Titleist MBs, if you miss that
You'll
centerpiece, I
know.
mean it's going 50 yards the other direction and you're like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
So that's where I think, again, like that's the only guy that I can really think who is really putting a change to the game in the way that amateurs and professional players look at their equipment, but
Mm-hmm.
also to your point about East Lake and how everyone was talking about the greens and how crazy fast they were. You know, Bryson DeChambeau said it himself. Like when you see the line on tour greens, it's just getting it on that line and it's in. 9 out of 10 times it's in. Right? He
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
goes public golf. You see the line, but there's footprints. There's a divot.
Yeah.
There's this. Like there's a lot of different factors that you can't control
Oh yeah.
that go into it. So again, that's where like these guys who are, not that anyone really complained, but I think the fact that these guys were able to see that they may have overthought it, and that's why some putts were short. Some guys were crazy long.
Oh yeah.
I forget who it was. I think it was that guy from Dude Perfect on one. He hit a putt and was like, "Oh my god, that was so fast." He was like, it was just one of those where it's like, yeah, that's the difference. You're putting on a 14, pace green. Like that's really fast. That's like putting on a glass surface.
Welcome to pro golf, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
I mean, kind of going back to it, I would love to see something kind of emerge out of this. I think that this is just the beginning, and the fact that John Monahan or Jay Monahan was out there the entire time, walking with every group. He was just kind of getting a feel for the ambience. I think that just seeing his eyes on the first tee when the first group went out,
Mm-hmm.
like you could just see he was shocked by how many people were actually there and really just how fired up people were just to see someone hit a fairway, get the ball off the ground. Like it
Yeah.
kind of lowers the standard of what you would expect from like the PGA Tour, but again, it's like
Right.
it's little things like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
statistically, when you look at things like the stat of you have a higher chance of dying on a plane than you do breaking 80 on a golf course, like that's a crazy statistic, and
That's
it's and
insane.
it's and it's true. Like that's the other one is like to know that you're part of the 5% of golfers in the world if you're breaking 100. That's even more insane.
Mhm.
Like it just shows how difficult this game is to,
Right.
for a lot of people. And I just think that if you have more people who are on a semi professional or professional level who are just making bonehead mistakes like what you do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it kind of brings the confidence to the guy who's going out and shooting 111. It brings the confidence to the guy
Right.
who's shooting 95 to say, hey, if he's doing it, like it's okay. And
Right.
maybe it incentivizes someone to go get a lesson, which only helps the entire PGA itself. Because if you're at a club, you have a PGA certified instructor, right?
Mm-hmm.
At
Right.
least most clubs do. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely going to get better and better, and the bigger it gets, the better it'll be for sure. Especially seeing the drive of social media, uh, especially around golf and content creators that have been
Hmm.
blowing up over the last few years. So that would be really freaking sweet. But uh, let's talk a little bit. Well, not a little bit. Let's talk a lot about the PGA Tour. Last week, you had Keegan Bradley winning the was it BMW Championship? Is that what it was last? Was it the one in Colorado was the BMW Championship, and you had some insane drives. Did you see that? How I think like what was it? Ludwig Aber or however you pronounce his name hit like a 417 yard like three wood or something.
Yeah.
Um, like the air was thin, the balls were
Hmm.
flying, and Keegan just won.
Yep. Yep, I did see
Did
that. That was I didn't get to watch all of it, but
yeah.
I did see O'Bels. Um I did see that drive, and then but didn't he hit a rock though?
I didn't see the shot. I
What?
just saw it on Twitter, and I would assume something had to have happened for that to happen. Because there's no way that if it's a flat lie, him just hitting it 400, like 380, even if it rolled out 30 yards, there's no way.
Yeah, I saw one where someone hit a rock and then they made a par. It was kind of sad, but I was like, been there, done
What a
that.
loser!
Yeah, no, but I mean, we spoke about that, dude. Like Colorado golf is different, man. I mean, again, when I went and played Arrowhead, um, and what was it, Denver Golf Club? I mean, dude, those I was hitting a 54 degree from like 150 on one of the par threes. I mean, I was just like, holy smokes, dude. That's normally like my my 120, my 125 club.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
just to stripe it and be like, wow, that thing's really just going. It's insane. It's a different kind of it's a different ball game up there, but it's definitely fun. And I mean, dude, for Keegan, guy's always had a tight game. It's just if he's getting up and down when he misses green sides, it's really what hurts him. And it seemed like that time he was able just to let loose and still be in a good spot where he had a good, comfortable club in his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and just took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him, especially after what happened. Was it last year, the year before, with the uh, Ryder Cup? Not getting selected, kind of getting shafted in a lot of people's opinions. But he definitely reminds me of if there's a white dude who rocks Jordan, he rocks like the non-cool Jordans. It's like, come on, dude. They have all the cool Jordans out, and you're
But
rocking like the ones that you don't even make.
but I think those are one-offs for him though.
They gotta be, but still, you know what I mean? They look like the white guy Jordans, not like cool Jordans. Just like, really, dude? Like,
Yeah,
come on, bro. Wear some 4s, wear some 12s, wear some 11s,
yeah.
Show us what no one else can get access to. Don't just throw us these like ones that aren't ever going to be seen the light of day because no one would ever buy them.
Dude, I
But
think I think to date, still some of the coolest golf shoes that I've seen on tour was Brooks Koepka was wearing some off-white off-white Air Prestos that he had the bottom, or no, I think he had the guy who makes them. I forget what his name is, but he passed away recently. Um,
when it's the
I,
soul swaps.
yeah, he did soul swaps on them, and dude, they look sick. Like I I I those got me fired up to like want to go get a pair, and then I was like, whoa, like
How much they
these,
are?
dude, yeah, they're like, I don't know, like $2,500. Yeah,
And
and
then after
now
like
that,
one round, you could see how like the shoes like, yeah, it won't hold up.
yeah, no, I mean, I just wanted a pair just to wear. I was like, those are sick.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, like, oh, his name was Virgil Agilo or something like that. I think that was his name. But yeah, dude, now that he passed away, all of his shoes are stupid expensive. Like every
Jeez.
single one of them.
That's wild. But yeah, I mean, like with Keegan, that was great for him. I didn't get to watch too much of that one, though. I did hear that that was like the first time for the PGA Tour being in Colorado in like 20 plus years.
Yeah, I saw that
Uh,
too. I
I was
did see that
like,
too.
that is kind of. I mean, I do get that because I don't think I've seen many tournaments in Colorado, Utah, which Utah I feel like would be a good spot as well.
Hmm.
But a lot of places out there that just haven't been able to get any tournaments. And if you're not on that tour already, where you already have your tournament every single year, it makes it a little difficult to get on there because you got to be one of the elevated events, like the
Hmm.
FedEx Cup playoffs, or you got to be a major. And unless like at the cream of the crop, it's going to be tough to fit your way in there. But yeah, this week this is wild because I think Scotty Scheffler has said it multiple times that he's not a fan of the setup. How do you like the setup where the leader starts off at -10 and then it drops down like a shot or two? Do you like this? Do you think they should go back to, I think it was match play before?
I think they
Um,
should.
yeah,
I mean, why does the leader get or start at basically the bottom of the? Does he start at the bottom of the bottom?
like
Because
no, the bet he has the best start. He starts at like 10 under.
oh yeah, um, I don't like that. I would just say just play it out. I mean, let the real best player show show who they are, right? Just go back to the stroke play. Let the field kind of determine it, right?
You
I
think
mean,
stroke play instead of match play?
yeah.
I think match play was the previous determining factor for FedEx.
I just like stroke. I just like stroke play. If it's if especially if it's the last tournament of the season,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's really, are you going to be able to capitalize with your great season, or are you just going to blow it, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you don't play two games for the national, for the Super Bowl. You don't play two games uh for the national championship. Like, just get out there and do it. You know, just show up. You
right. I
blow it, you
mean,
blow it.
it is interesting because I've never seen anything like this. Where you have such a wide gap, and if you're number 30 on the rankings, you're starting with like you're starting 10 behind, but before even starting the tournament, before even setting the ball down on the first tee,
Yeah,
and that's just wild. But it's even crazier that like I think it was last year that Scotty Scheffler 10 under again. Uh, Roy McIlroy quad bogeyed like the first hole and then won the freaking tournament. So like it is possible, but like it definitely. I will say this: if you ended up betting on like the 5th through like the 30th guy, and one of those guys came up and won, you're gonna win. You're gonna win a chunk of change.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I probably would like the match play because it is a little different as well. But stroke play is traditional, and that's fine. But I would like there to be some kind of an advantage for the number one golfer. But at the same time, even if you do match play, you could have a hot guy, someone who's hit playing hot, number 30, or whoever's the lowest that they allow to face number one. Like, just like playoffs.
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't want to face that wild card team, because they're hot. They're coming off a big series, and you've
yeah.
been not playing anybody and you run into a buzzsaw. So it's kind of like I don't know if the term's catch 22 for this, but where danged if you do, danged if you don't. There's really not a perfect way, but either
hmm
stroke play might be the way to go, because I don't know. It's just
Who do you think is the underdog that could possibly upset the field?
that could upset the field. Well, based off of today, after Scotty Scheffler shot, I think he shot 6 under today. Um, Colin Morikawa, which I'm very surprised, 5 under today. So a great start, and Adam Scott with a 5 under. I think Adam Scott was a runner up last week.
Hmm.
And then you had Taylor Pendrith 5 under. So I would probably go with I'm I'm probably going to go with Morikawa just because I know he's probably not going to end up showing up anymore. People are saying like, "Oh wow, cool! This guy is so cool. He has what? He hasn't won a tournament in like 2 years or something like that," and all the hype. But I think what was it 2020 that he won his 2 majors with a PGA
Yeah.
Championship in like San Francisco and then like the
Hmm.
Open in
Yep.
England, and hasn't really done much since.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably just go with Morikawa, but at the same time, he'll probably end up blowing it. What about you?
I got two guys. I'm thinking Sahith Theegala.
I
I
got him
think
at DraftKings. Nice, nice.
I think he's one that could surprise some people. Um,
He shot 400 today.
yeah, the other one is I'm gonna have to go with Ludwig Ab-
Aber.
Aber. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him. I don't know why. I know he shot even today, but I think he's gonna surprise some people in the next couple days.
I
I
mean,
mean,
he can turn it on. When he turns it on, man, he is hard to beat.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, again, you're starting. I mean, you're starting in the middle of the field. You're really only chasing after one person, which is Scotty Scheffler
Yep.
and probably Xander,
Yep.
right? I mean,
Yep.
Colin just had a day, but the weather's supposed to be a little bit more breezy going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Uh-oh.
So,
He's used to that in Europe, playing in those
yeah,
windier conditions. Yeah.
exactly, and that's where I think it may be one of those two. And Sahith, I mean, dude, last week he just had some unfortunate mistakes, but he played really well. I think off the tee box, he was hitting the ball great. He found himself in positions to score. Just some shots just didn't do what he envisioned. Like, he had one shot where hit it on the back side of the pin, and he was hoping for it to come back, and it just jumped forward, and it was right off the fringe. He tried to hit like a nice little flop to get it to come down the slope. Hits it, he like flubs it, hits it short, still on the fringe, and he almost chips it in, but he makes a par, or I'm sorry, he makes a bogey.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just little mistakes where I feel like this being the end of the season, like, why try and be cute? Just get after it, right? So, yeah.
I mean, I'm a big, we definitely talked about in the past. We're definitely big Sahith Theegala fans, and would love for him to pick up a win. I don't think. Did he have a win this year? Was it the Fortinet? Did he win something this year? Was it this year?
I don't remember.
I got to check this out. I gotta look this up right now really quick. This is gonna bother me. Let's see here. Does he have any wins? He has one win. That's what I thought. Now, when was it? The career win? Fortinet. Yep, it was the Fortinet, but it was, I think, 2 years ago, actually. Okay, so I'm off on the year. But yeah, so regardless, I mean, East Lake just seems like a tough track,
It is, yeah.
They play it tight, it's not easy.
Well, just looking at the rough from Wednesday, it looks like it's at least 5 to 6 inches.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal,
which is great for fans, to watch that, to watch it.
Yeah,
people know me.
Yeah, people know me. Now, I mean, dude, like, to see what Paige Sporanic, where she had her shot on the 4th hole, like, she just had missed off on the green. Like, dude, it looked like it took all of her strength to get that thing up and out of there.
Dang, I mean, I will say the coolest thing that I did see from that Creator Classic was the Mason Nutt birdie from the par 5. Did you see that? Where he hooked his shot to the left, driver off the deck onto the fringe, I think, and then he chipped it up for a birdie.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty sick. But quick little pivot, still in the golf world. But I was telling Julio offline last week, since barely anyone listens to this podcast, if this thing gets out, well, then people are listening, which I doubt. Brandon Frazier, who is the head fitter at Avoda, was telling me that the famous Adam Sandler told his manager to reach out to Avoda and get them on the line and get them talking so that they can get out to New Jersey, since they are currently filming Happy Gilmore 2. And I think it's either fit Adam Sandler for the movie, so he has these irons to use during the film. So when you watch Happy Gilmore 2, whenever it comes out next year, that you will see Avoda on there, which I thought was so sick. Or he just wants another set of irons for himself. Regardless, the king of comedy himself, maybe not the king of comedy, but he's up there. He's made some classics. You say Adam Sandler, everyone knows. I thought that was really, really cool. And then Julio's going to try and take the dive eventually to Avoda, which would be really cool to see how he performs with these clubs. But yeah, I mean, dude, Brandon was also telling me, like I told you, they're building clubs with Swag Golf.
Yeah, they got a collaboration. I saw today Swag Golf dropped like I don't know, it was kind of a dumb one. They did one with like a hot dog and something else collaboration, but they hinted with the Cybertruck that's going around the US right now, giving away free swag stuff, that there was a big partnership. So I was like, and I got the notification on the app and everything saying, get your stuff now. Something special is really coming out for the, for like, I think they're aiming around the holiday season, but yeah, that's going to be cool. It'd be sick to see the stuff that they do.
Dude,
I know primarily they're known for, like, obviously their head covers and accessories, but
now they have putters. Now they got their putters. Brandon got one of their putters too. The ones like the dollar of the blade putter.
Yeah.
He's like, he just handed it to me. It's like, yeah, I got a few of these. Not a problem. He's like, these things go for like $600, but like if you
They
like new.
resell for like 3,000.
I know. That's what he was saying. He's like, buying, if you can get your hands on one retail, yes, you're in luck. But even then, like, you could flip that no problem. But he's like, dude, this thing is freaking sick.
Yeah,
like,
they're smooth. They're smooth.
Because apparently the owner or the CEO, whoever founded the company, used to work for Scotty Cameron, right?
He used to work for Scotty Cameron and Toulon. So he knows how to make a good milled putter face.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's only a few places where you can go get their putters, and if anybody is near a club champion, they are the official seller of swag putters. So if you get in there and you want to feel it and just kind of see what it feels like, it is a very soft, bouncy face for it being a big old slab of metal. But it's a cool way to kind of get into like the swag accessories, because with every putter that you buy, you get cool head covers. I mean, like here, I'll show you a couple of them.
Yeah, dude. Like it's crazy. Brandon was telling me that the owner, he's gifting him one of those president's staff bags.
Nice.
He's gonna put his name on it. It's like a $2,000-$3,000 bag. Oh yeah, and I'm like, dude, you got. I mean, that's sick. That little peach with the skull.
Yeah, it's the Masters one.
I was like, Brandon, dude,
white elephant.
White elephant. That's hilarious.
And then this was like one of the first ones I ever got. Kool-Aid man. Yeah.
That's awesome. I was asking Brandon, I'm like, yo, dude, if you got an extra 3-wood head cover, dude, hit me up. I'll take one. Yeah, like, dude, I got so much stuff. They're shipping out like 2 or 3 more boxes since they're moving their their facilities or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, they're moving it from if you're in the Chicago area, which I'm sure everybody knows, but they're right outside of Wrigley Field.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're right there in the downtown, because it's lively right there. Like there's literally everything. So you can go in, you can get fitted. They have simulators. Like it's next level, dude. I mean, for us being men and women, but it's
the candy store,
dude. They got like a bar in there. You can go rent out. Yeah, it's sick, dude. It's really cool. I mean, that was actually how I came across swag, was when Isis and I went to a buddy of mine's wedding in Holland, Michigan. I was like, hey, like we got a free day tomorrow. We need to drive down to Chicago and go check it out. So we did. We drove down. It was a nice, easy drive. We were there. We walked around the whole entire city, and then Issa surprised me with some tickets to go watch a Cubs game, and we went. And right outside, it was like swag golf, and I was like, hang on, let me go. And I like ran over there, went and checked it out. And I looked inside. I was like, what is this? And that was where I got the Kool-Aid man.
I'm never leaving. I'm not going back. I'm sorry. Yeah. The wedding's tomorrow. I gotta stay.
I just saw it. And I was like, I want to buy the Kool-Aid one. And it was like, I mean, they're expensive. It was like $125, but I mean, I have some other ones that are like,
dude, Brandon said he spent like $7,000-$8,000 like on head covers alone, just because of like the scarcity of them. And yeah, so I mean, I'm stoked. Avoda definitely seems like they're on the up and up, and he let me use his driving iron, and he's like, she brought out this other one, and it was like black face with red on the little paint fill.
Nice.
And with a black 80 tour shaft. The black shaft with like the ribs on it.
Yeah, with the red on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, dude, this thing's sick. And he's like, yeah, dude, I just built this thing right now, and I love this. And I'm like, let me try it out. And I was hitting, I'm like, I can't really like get it off the ground too much. Like, and he's like, no, this is like a true driving iron that like is supposed to get under the wind, and you're supposed to hit it like 30 to 50 feet up in the air, and it rolls out for like 100 yards.
Yeah. So let me tell you this. So today I told you my wife was kind enough with gonna be a 3-week-old baby here, was like, please go play golf. Please just go out, right? Like go do something for you. And I went out, but this guy that I was playing with, his name was Dylan, but he had like a McGregor's. He's fairly newish to golf, but he had like a McGregor's iron set. And it's just the heads, and it's like literally just pure blade. But he had it from a 1 iron down to like an approach wedge, right? Wow. And I was looking at them, and they're clean. Like, I mean, those McGregor's clubs, the tour ones, the tour McGregor's are probably made like in, I don't know, dude, probably somewhere like in the 80s.
Right,
So,
right.
I didn't ask him, but I assumed they had some sentimental value to them, right? And on the ninth hole, I was like, "Can I see your one iron?" He goes, "Thank God you're asking me." He's like, "I've been watching you hit your three iron today," and he's like, "I just want to see how you hit this thing." And so number nine at Foxtails, like from the tips is 333 yards exactly, right? And to the middle of the green. So I teed up the one iron with just like a little quarter tee. I absolutely nutted it, dude. Like it felt like yeah, it felt like I missed it because it was just dead square in the face and it just took off. And it's going right at the bunker and it just has this nice little draw, takes the slope and rolls up to the front of the green. And so he like looks at the scorecard and he goes, "Dude, did you just hit that one iron almost like 300 yards?" And I was like, "I think so." And he's like, "That ball was an absolute missile." He's like, "If anybody's like 6 foot, he's like, they would have lost their head." But it was cool though. But I haven't seen McGregor's clubs in forever,
Dude,
and
that's a name drop for you. What do they call it? Like it's a
yeah, it's a piece of history right there.
yeah,
But the thing
man.
was, he said that he got fitted for him. He's like, "I just love the clubs." Like he's like, "I know I could probably get something better."
Mhm.
But I mean, dude, this kid didn't miss. Like the wear on the clubs is like dead center, dead
What?
center.
How old is this guy?
He's 22. He goes to UC Davis.
And he plays McGregor's from the 80s?
hmm He said it was the first set of clubs he had. He said that he had them with like the old like wounded threaded grips, right, to where
Oh
they just
wow.
fell apart. But he said like he went and got fitted, got the right shaft, right. He has a LA Golf shafts in him,
Oh dang.
and dude, it's literally like the shaft is like I can't even. The shaft just looks like it just looks like it's on like this little tiny noodle of like a head. It's like the LA golf shaft is just so thick, and
Uh-huh.
then and then you look and you're looking down at it, you're like, this whole thing looks like I'm literally sorry about that. This whole thing literally looks like I am holding a straight up butter knife now. I mean,
Oh, yep, yep, yep,
yeah,
yep.
and I mean the one iron looked like it was all you see is the sole, right? All you see is the
Mhm.
sole because the top line is so thin. But even the seven iron was like, I'm like, holy smokes, dude! And it has the original lofts, so he hasn't adjusted the lofts, and it was like
Dang.
seven iron looked like a pitching wedge.
Jeez, no
Yeah.
way.
hmm
That's wild, dude. Um, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably won't see another set of those for a
No,
long time.
no. I mean, I got an ancient set. I got an ancient set of atoms in my garage, and then ping I twos.
Ooh, the pings.
Yeah, those are like, and I mean, the Ping I2s is my first original set that I took out of a trash can in San Francisco when I was like 12. Yeah,
Dang.
went and knocked on the person's next door and just said like, "Hey, can I have these?" She's like, "Yep, you can take them." And it was three iron through a sand wedge. Yeah,
That's wild.
yep. But on that note, guys, thank you for all the support. Thank you for continuing to follow us, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. We love doing this. I'm kind of dismissing myself because my little one's starting to get a little bit fussy, and she already smashed this one bottle, so now I need to get another one without waking up mom. So
Yep.
remember to stay fly and go low, and we'll see you guys next week.